Live yet? It's like, oh, there we are. Hi.
Hey, how are you?
Good. How are you? I am personally could not be more excited to be hosting this Cafecito today. I not only get to host it with someone that I admire and respect a tremendous amount, but she's also on the United Latinas board with me. So I am so excited to present Heidi Romer. For those of you that don't know her, she is an unbelievable rock star in our world and amazing. So thank you for being here and thank you for trusting me to host this with you.
Yes, Karina, thank you. That was a really nice introduction. Thank you. I'm very excited to be here with you. I was just thinking that lately I've been able to be with you, around you, talking to you, planning with you more than ever, and I love it. So when this opportunity became available, I was like, oh yeah, with Karina, yeah. Yes.
Oh, yes, that crazy human. Yeah. All right, let's get into it. We can plug United Latinas, which we will do at the end, and have everybody become a member with us who's listening and who will listen to this afterwards.
Do it. Become a member. Do it.
Wow. But today, I want to focus on you. I want to focus on your story and your journey, which I think is pretty incredible and inspiring. And I think it could help a lot of people out there. So let's start from the beginning. Let's start with your story, a little bit about your story, where you're from, and then we'll get into how you reached H.O.L.A books. But let's start from the beginning.
From the beginning, we're gonna do Cliff Notes version because we'll be here a long time answering that question. Okay, so I'm based in South Florida now. Originally from the Bronx, and raised in between the Bronx, and Miami my whole life. I'm in South Florida now. I'm a proud United Latinas board member. Had to put that plug in there. My background, really, professional wise, I've been in the support role for a long time, to the C-suite, and that continued to evolve and morph into various sectors and industries and various capacities. And most recently, new entrepreneur as of this year. And that has been the most probably exciting, stressful time of my life. And yeah, how's that? Was that, kind of quick intro?
It's a great intro. Yeah. Let's talk a little bit. Let's go a little bit one step further into your career trajectory. So tell us a little bit about Heidi before H.O.L.A books and Heidi before entrepreneurship.
Woof. Okay. Professional wise, this is hard. Like I was joking, like, oh, I don't have the pressure of having to interview and ask questions, but now I'm in the hot seat. I don't think I like it. Okay.
Oh my gosh, you're doing great, and you're just having a conversation with me. You and I have had lots of conversations. This isn't our first conversation.
I'm only talking to Karina. Okay. So my background for a long time was in community health, neighborhood revitalization, housing, social determinants of health. And then COVID happened. I feel like everybody has then COVID happened, and it forced me to reevaluate my life, really. And it was, how do I want to see my life right now? And I left healthcare. I left New York, packed my car and came to Florida without a job, and then found myself in executive recruiting, which kind of sounds so weird coming from community health. But if I think of my through line being of service to others, it kind of made sense, because now I'm working with people and organizations to help them place leaders that have the skill and that have the purpose. So that's the real job, the job that pays me.
Oh, no, don't ever say that the other is not a real job.
Yeah, Sammy's the one actually who was like, don't say you don't have a job. Like, H.O.L.A books is the job. And I'm like,
it's the job. Yeah. I mean, I think Wow, so much to unpack. But I think I think the truth is, when we are entrepreneurs or we're starting something new and we're trying to sustain our daily lifestyle, right? Our income and all of that. My phrase lately on everything in my life is two things can be true at the same time lately.
Oh,
Um,
okay.
and I think that that's the truth, right? You right now have two full-time jobs.
Yes.
So you're still maintaining your executive search career to support where you want to go with your entrepreneurship career. So it's not a real job or a fake job or not. It's
Yes.
trying to one supporting the other and sustaining the other, which is okay, which is what a lot of people do when they create a company.
Yes.
Eventually, you have to pick. Like, eventually, if you really want to grow to a level that you want to grow, you're going to have to pick. But right now, this is where you are.
Did you ever hear the term this what is it, a career portfolio? I just recently heard that term and I'm like, yeah, that's what I'm doing, a career portfolio. And by the way, big shout out to Lisette Ibarra of Latina Chief, because that's who I'm working with now. And it's been freaking amazing. But yeah, this career, I feels like a career portfolio, doing what I want to do, you know.
Okay, someone just wrote exactly it takes money to make money. Love that. Who's listening to us? That's amazing. It does
Oh,
take
to the listeners, we have some listeners. Great. Yay.
okay,
Yes.
Heidi, but you're not going to get out of where we want to go. I know you are trying, but we're not going to. So I would like to go back to you. And I know that there is an incredible story behind what's leading you to be an entrepreneur now. And I shout out to Lisette. She is amazing. And I love that the two of you are working together. But I want to focus a little bit on this idea of what you and I have talked about before, which I think is so inspiring. It's never too late. You can always follow your dream and your journey and your passion. You have to take the right steps to do it, but you can do it. So let's talk about your entrepreneurial journey and following that and never giving up on your dream or your passion.
Never.
But let's talk about the beginning of that. How did that start? Like, also let's for everybody listening, let's talk about what is H.O.L.A Books, and then we'll talk about the inspiration and how we got to where we are today.
Okay, I'm gonna follow your instructions to the T, Karina. H.O.L.A Books
I wish someone would.
H.O.L.A Books is an online bookshop and creative sanctuary. That's kind of what I'm coining it as. And it is to celebrate Latino and Caribbean stories and voices. And really, it came about, I was lucky to be part of two anthologies, right? One was with Latinas 100 through Adriana Rosales, and then with United Latinas, the book that came out earlier this year. And it was two really great experiences, right? It was like, wow, like it was something I dreamed about. I was able to kind of share my story. And my immediate reaction, though, wasn't, oh, I want to write my book. It was, oh no, how do I help other people share their stories? That's really what it was, you know? And then I started doing some research. And then for those that don't know, there's over 65 million Latinos in the US. And I actually just looked at the number yesterday and it's closer to 68 million. So just think about that number. And less than 7% are published authors, right? Latino published authors, less than 7%. And I kind of got like real mad about that, you know? And it was like, okay, what am I going to do about that? What can I do about it? And I'm someone who always loved books, literature, language, words, quotes, affirmations, just storytelling, always loved it. And I kind of had like, oh, wow, like it was like an aha moment to what I love to do, what I wanted to do. And now I like there's a mission behind it, you know? And that's how H.O.L.A Books started. And I have all these ideas and things that I want to do. And yeah, so, and I want to pause for a second because the other big thing that happened related to H.O.L.A books. So H.O.L.A books happens, right? It's happening. I think it's gonna be amazing. And
I
Sami,
know it is.
thank you. Let's manifest it. So Sami Hyman Marrero, who I'm sure you all know too, and who's another fellow board member, another great human, recently came out with her first book, Becoming La Jefa. And we had a conversation, about H.O.L.A books. The website wasn't even done. The logo wasn't even done. Then she goes, well, I'm not going through Amazon. I'm going to do it. I'm not doing it the traditional publishing way. Have you thought about distribution? And I go, yes, I thought about distribution. I'm thinking it's going to take me years. No, she's like, 5,000 books are coming your way. So overnight, I became a distributor of her book. So H.O.L.A Books is an online bookshop and a distributor. And believe it or not, they aren't any like independent distribution outlets. Like they're just not, they're not available. They're not here. So yeah.
Okay, 3 questions related to that. There's no independent for Latinos or Spanish or English or both?
I think for both. I think it's all like the big names. Distributors are all the big name people. And I'm trying to be one of those big names.
And I believe that you will get there. You have the drive and the passion. But there's something that you didn't mention that you've mentioned to me before, which was one of my favorite stories, which is the real inspiration. You were at an event, you heard a quote. Can you tell that story? Because I love that story. And then I also love the Heidi going down the rabbit hole after that.
Okay. This is hard talking about yourself, man. It is hard. I'm gonna give more grace when I'm interviewing people. And I love that you're like pulling me back in. So that quote that I'm going to share with you is what gave me the courage to write, actually. So I was at the Lean and Latinas conference, actually, and Marta Nino, who's an author, she was the keynote, and she says, when you tell your story, you heal yourself, but when you share your story, you heal others. And I was like so emotional behind that. And that is what said to me, I'm like, okay, I can write my story, right? Because maybe this would resonate with somebody, So that's how the story started. And then H.O.L.A books, it's crazy now that I'm saying it, all these kind of connections, yeah.
No, but after you heard that, you ran home and did what? You went down a rabbit hole from what you told me.
Oh, but that wasn't from that. That was from after I was part of after I did the stories is when I went down the rabbit hole. Well, like how many authors, how many Latino authors, how many Latino authors, and then Caribbean. Like if you look for Caribbean, like that's even like less, which makes me even more angrier, So, so yeah. So
the quote was part of what led you to understand and value your own storytelling for yourself and how to heal yourself and find this journey for yourself.
Yes.
And then from there, you said, oh, I'm going to take this leap. I'm going to do this for myself. And then when you did that, you said, oh, there's an opportunity for everybody else. And that's what led you to the rabbit hole.
That's what led me to, after looking at the research, seeing the low numbers, knowing who I know, right? And what I mean by that is knowing the women that I know with their stories that are already published authors or women that even want to write, people. I was like, oh, and then looking, there's actually there's a lot of Latino owned bookstores, and they're doing like really great work, right? The mission, the movement is great. But it still wasn't what I was looking for, if that makes sense, right? And then I'm like, oh, I gotta create what I want.
Stop there, because that's super interesting. So a couple of questions around that. Where are these Latino bookstores?
All over. Honestly,
Are they
mean,
like in New York or Miami or LA, San Francisco, like across?
yes, and yes, what you just said, and Puerto Rico too. I was just in Puerto Rico and they I was looking and at least I saw 10, at least 10 bookstores that I saw like off the top of my head. So they are there. They are there, but to your point, right? Where are they? So that's another thing I want to do, right? With H.O.L.A books. Like, yes, we're selling books, but that's not just it, right? Like, think of the lanes as like emerging author, established author. For the emerging author, okay, I can connect you to publishers, or you need an illustrator for your book, let's connect you. You're thinking about writing, but you don't know how to start. Okay, we're going to have some workshops, and then if you're an established author, well, come sell your book on my website. But that's not where it ends. Let's talk about what book signings look like. Let's talk about what it is to promote you and get your face and your story kind of front and center. And I even want a directory on my website. I want when people are looking for, things in this publishing space, like, let's demystify this, let's get you access. Let's connect you to the services that you need so you can start writing.
So in that, do you, and I'm just curious about this because I actually don't know, but do you feel that it's Latino authors or Hispanic authors writing in English or Spanish, or do you think it's all written in Spanish? Like, how do you feel about that? Or what do you see in the direction? I remember I was in New York City and I was at a very well-known bookstore. We won't say which one. And they were celebrating Spanish Heritage Month. And I sent you a picture because I was so frustrated that they had this massive table. You walked into this very famous store, and it's not Barnes and Noble's,
Okay.
and there was not a single book in Spanish.
Yeah.
It was all English by Latino authors. And I was like, is that right? Is that fair? Like,
yeah.
So I would love your take on that, of like how you feel the market is. Is it more Latino authors in English? Is it Latino authors in Spanish? Is it really both?
So, I mean, I could talk for myself. So right now on my website, I only have a handful of books that are written in Spanish, but that is going to increase, right? So for me, I want both. I want books that are written by Latino and Caribbean authors. And for Caribbean, I'm not just talking about Puerto Rico and Dominican Republic. I'm Jamaica, Bahamas, all these all these islands that have rich stories, rich culture that I'm just not seeing enough of that, right?
Right.
But the books, at least through my store, it's going to be everything. Like, yes, written in Spanish and written in English. And before the year is over, I'm actually hoping that my website is also translated in Spanish, that you can hit the button and it kind of comes in Spanish. To your point, what I'm not going to do is, like, let's say a book is written by, I don't know, let's think of who's an author I have here? H.O.L.A, right? That's the book on my bookshelf. And she'll say, oh, I'll write it in Spanish and you can sell it on your website. Like, no, you have to be you have to identify. So I'm doing it a little differently because I don't see enough of that. And I don't want to exclude anybody, right? But not to be funny. Like, let's say if it's someone that doesn't identify as Latino or Caribbean, well, let's talk, right? Like, we could have you on the website, but maybe you're the special feature and it's not the other way around. Ha! You know how, like, we're the little category? No, we're not gonna.
I love that.
We're not gonna be the little category.
Oh my God, I love that so much. Okay, I'm not gonna let you get away with this. So I just think your story is so inspiring. So I just want to focus a little bit more on this inspirational aspect of like, I always say being an entrepreneur is not for everybody. Like, out there in the world, it's like so sexy and cool, and everybody wants to be like the next Google and Facebook.
This shit is hard, Karina.
But it's hard. So like, and at a certain age and stage in life, to make this decision to say, here's my passion, here's what I believe in, here's what I see in the market, what advice would you give to people and say, yeah, you can do this. I'm doing this. It's what I believe in. But talk about a little bit about your inspiration and sort of what drives you to keep this going and doing, because we all know it's not easy.
It's not easy. It's very hard. And if I had to ask myself, okay, well, what's hard about it? It's not the long hours, because I've always been someone that works a lot. What has been very hard for me is everything I'm doing, I feel like I'm doing for the first time, right? So like the website, I'm using, the CRM platform, right? Like everything feels, I feel like I don't know what I'm doing like every day, so that's been hard. What hasn't been hard is the people I've surrounded myself around. They really want me to win. And I can't explain that feeling. Like, it's just like, really, so it is hard, but I don't think it's been as hard as it could be if I didn't have the people who are around me willing to talk to me, guide me, listen to me, invest their time in me. And you're one of them, Karina, right? If I had to give advice, I would say, remember why you're doing it, right?
I love that.
Like, I feel like this is soul work. Does that make sense? Like this work that I'm doing, like, I'm like, I don't know, I kind of feel I feel like, wow, I get to do this. I can't believe I get to be part of this. I can't believe I get to be kind of part of this. I'm gonna call it a movement, a mission, and in terms of, like, you asked me too, so there are consequences to all decisions, right? Like,
Right.
I believe in that. So I would say, this is hard, right? And being okay with not having the same income coming in, being hard, like, what you put in is what you're good. Like, so yeah, so all those, like, financial stressors are real,
Yeah, I think they're absolutely real, but I think the best advice is what you, in my opinion, is what you just said, which is surround yourself with the right support system and the right people and the right advisors and the right network in order to make this journey of entrepreneurship or building a company or building H.O.L.A books or what it is you want to do, makes it easier in a way. It's still going to be incredibly hard, like you said. It's still going to be financially worrisome. It's still going to be a lot of stress. It's still going to be moments of overwhelmed. But if you have a strong belief and a strong passion, and then you surround yourself by a great support system, like Sammy, who called you and was like, okay, cool, let's do this, or like Lisette, or anyone else you've been working with on, like, financial modeling or whatever it is, I think sometimes entrepreneurship or launching something can also be incredibly lonely, and it can be incredibly isolating. And I think one of the things in some of the conversations I've had with you that I admire is you're also, as we would say in Spanish, no tienes pelos en la lengua. So you're not afraid to ask the questions. You're not afraid to say, I don't know what I don't know, and here is what I do know. And also, you have a very clear game plan where you want to go. And I think that's some great advice to people listening. Like, it's not too late.
No.
But find that right game plan. Find those right people to surround yourself and support you with. And don't be afraid to ask questions.
Yeah. And so everything always, like, I don't ever, even now, I don't ever remember in my life, like, oh, this is so hard. What do I do? It's like, okay, what are we doing? All right, what's the solution? How are you going to figure this out? What do you need? Like, you know what I mean? It's always kind of thinking in that way,
But I feel like a lot of your career and what you've done until now, like, led you to this, right? Like if I look back and think about like community health, executive search, like you build communities naturally, Heidi. Like you bring people together, like you tell people stories, right? Whether it's supporting a community in health. But I think even in executive search, there's a story there, right?
Yeah.
Like you're interviewing someone, there's a story behind that person you're interviewing. So I think there's this beautiful like concept that's woven through who you are, in my opinion, that's led you to H.O.L.A books.
Thank you. I would, yeah, I'm gonna say yes. Like people in service of others, right? And I think you know, how do we make this better?
So, a couple of last questions, because I could obviously, you and I could talk, and sometimes I really think these cafecitos need to be longer, but maybe
like 10 minutes longer, right? They need to be like 10, like we start getting in the groove and it's like, oh, bye guys.
Or maybe just because I can talk. That's, but that sounds better. So we had a couple of questions here, but one of them from people listening was, are you going to provide professional publishing services?
I'm thinking about it. But now during this time, I'm not publishing, but I know publishers. So I can connect people to publishers that you can interview, right? And you see what's the match and what makes sense for you to kind of partner with.
So in that direction, if people listening to us are participating or eventually find H.O.L.A, first of all, how do they find H.O.L.A books? Number one.
Oh, okay. H.O.L.A-books.com. Because there's already an H.O.L.A books out there. And I didn't realize that, right? See, being new to entrepreneurship. So H.O.L.A-books.com. That's how you can find me.
Okay. And then you did say in this that you were going to be providing resources and sort of be, which I think is actually a beautiful thing. So if someone is thinking about writing a book or has an idea or has written a book or is just in the process, is there a place they can reach out to you, ask you questions, or get more information, or have you helped them with other resources?
Yeah, I would say at this time, send me an email and I can put it in the am I able to put a comment in here? I don't know.
Yeah, I think
because even after this, I will put info@holabooks.com. So hopefully, definitely send me an email, and I will do my best to get back with you within 24 hours.
Yeah,
and we can schedule time to chat and connect and talk.
Amazing. It did show up, so everybody can look at that.
Did you do that, Karina? Did you do that?
No, you did it. You just did it. I've just been answering some people on chat that have been sending.
That was okay.
See, you're so talented. You didn't even know.
I was like, did you do that? That's kind of cool. All right.
All right, my dear. I love your journey. I need you to. We have 2 more minutes, even though I could keep going forever, like I said. Some like final parting inspirational words around storytelling, journeys, career journeys.
Wow. what do I say? So storytelling is the oldest form of community, right? Think of the beginning of time, people would gather around, the fire, right? Fast forward to today, right? We gather in the kitchen, right? And we're telling stories. If you're at work, those that still go to work and aren't working remote, you're, around the cooler and you're talking, right? So storytelling is so important. And I would just say, with the, not to get political, but with the way things are and have been lately, I feel like it is my responsibility to push ahead harder than ever before with H.O.L.A books and the reason for H.O.L.A books, to celebrate Latino and Caribbean stories and voices. This is the work that I'm meant to do, And I am like, honor doesn't even capture the right word. I am really lucky that I get to do this work and be part of this work. And so please consider me a resource if I can help you in any way to help bring your stories to life. Let's chat.
I love that. They say, well, my dad used to say this to me, that if you work in something you love and have passion for every day, it's not work.
Yes.
So my advice to everyone listening to us is, if you want to change it, if you want to become an entrepreneur, if you want to tell your story, don't be afraid to do it. There are fantastic resources like Heidi and other people out there to support you and help you. And if you have a passion for a different business, it doesn't have to be books. It can be something else. You listen to Heidi's story and be inspired by it and try it. And don't be afraid to ask questions, and don't be afraid to fail or pivot, because things could change. But there are opportunities out there for you, and there is a way for you to share your voice and your story.
Yes, I agree. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, Karina.
This was so much fun. Thank you. Thank you.